Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My name is Imran Abbasi, and we are doing this live session from Muhammad Qasim's official channel, Muhammad Qasim, which is an English channel. And I have today with me Awais Naseer, who is going to talk about the dreams and who is going to talk about the event which happened today. And it was something which Modi, Prime Minister of India, he discussed in his speech, and he kind of threatened Pakistan with his slogans, and he was kind of also instigating the public who was attending his gathering. So today the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, he said that the atomic or nuclear weapons which they have, they are not just for the purpose of playing them or the firing them on the occasion of Diwali, but it is to be used on Pakistan. So he kind of threatened with his intention to Pakistan. So we are going to ask Brother Awais Naseer about this, that how does he look at this speech of Narendra Modi in the light of Muhammad Qasim's dreams, and what has been foretold in Qasim's dreams about these events. So Brother Awais, would you like to tell us about today's event?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are usually live from our own programs, one-on-one sometimes. I do the live session, sometimes Brother Imran Abbasi does it. He's usually abroad, so he was here in Pakistan, so we did a live session yesterday as well, and alhamdulillah, we are fortunate to have him in Pakistan today as well. So we are both of us are basically going to discuss, not just me. Yeah. So the thing is, India's Prime Minister Modi has most probably today, because I saw the clip today, Dr. Shahid Masood, our very famous anchor, tweeted that little video clip in which Prime Minister Modi said that we don't have the nukes for using on Diwali. They have a Hindu festival where they have little
like
firecrackers and stuff on that. So he has basically threatened Pakistan about a nuclear war. The point is not that he has said that this is a nuclear war and we could start a nuclear war against Pakistan. The point to ponder is that Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim has been seeing these exact events many months ago, and in some cases he actually saw these events years ago from their happening. And in the previous live session that you guys might have seen, I have been saying that and emphasizing on the fact that India is not going to restrain or restrict themselves to whatever has happened already. They would attack Pakistan in future as well, and it is no analysis or it's no prediction or astrology or some kind of stuff. This is a divine message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim sees. So there is no
in the form of dreams.
In the form of the dreams. So this is no even you can call it a spiritual. You can't even call it intelligence report. It is a spiritual intelligence that is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the events are exactly going in that direction. India might not start a nuclear war against Pakistan, but India would definitely attack Pakistan once again. This is going to happen. And just like before, we had explained that India is going to attack Pakistan anytime, and then they did. And the next day we were saying that they won't limit themselves to the breach of line of control or the border of Pakistan, but they would actually attack Pakistan and infiltrate Pakistan. And then we also said that they would start internal attacks like terrorist attacks or stuff like that. And things started happening exactly the same way. Even now, if some people are seeing these threats like they are just threats, they could be his political campaign or just exaggeration of stuff. This isn't the case. They would actually do that. Either they do it during the elections or after the elections, but they would attack from the borders as well. They would start a conventional war against Pakistan as well, on top of already going on incidents. The terrorist attacks that are happening in Quetta and Chaman and on the coastal highway, most of the parts of the Balochistan they have been targeting, they are actually from India. Sometimes our intelligence agencies don't want to start a direct conflict or a tussle between both the countries, so they would put it on blame on the terrorist organizations and not directly on another enemy country. But we know from the dreams of Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim that these attacks are coming from India. Either it is via through the proxies in Afghanistan, Iran, or Balochistan, wherever, but these attacks are actually from India. So this is exactly happening like it was shown to Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim. So I cannot emphasize this fact enough that these dreams are true, these dreams are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these dreams are happening exactly the way they are. This has actually now been established. Like we hardly get any more comments that you are making it up, you are claiming something, or you want to become something, and you must have a vested agenda or something like that. We hardly get that comments anymore, because people have realized these things are happening and these are true. But the point is that what should we do now, and what should be the strategy? That is actually the actual point.
So yeah, basically, I think our viewers would like to know that what, according to the dreams, how was this all going to start? Because the dream which Muhammad Qasim saw about the attack on Pakistan or the financial problems of Pakistan was way back in March 2017. So now, since then, he has started explaining about these army dreams, basically. So what would you like to tell from those dreams, that how it all started, and what is the message in the dreams which has come true so far? According to these dreams, what are the events, like starting from the dreams of 20th March 2017, the chemical attack, the virus or chemical attack in the food of Pakistan Army? So how would you explain that, elaborate on that?
On 20th March 2017, it was shown that that the enemy puts some contaminates the food of Pakistan's army with some virus, and or some chemical, and it was later explained that that virus is a symbolic representation of the economy of Pakistan, that how they could do some mischiefs to make our dollar reserves run out, or they could do stuff to harm our economy. This could take any form. They could launder money out of Pakistan. They could do some conspiracy with the IMF and United States to not release funds for us. They could use their influence even in the Middle East or United Arab Emirates, or even other countries where they have higher business stakes, higher material stakes in Pakistan. They could influence over there as well, that to hurt Pakistan's economy. Even the war that they are imposing on Pakistan is not sort of a war where they want to take over Pakistan or they want to conquer areas of Pakistan. That war in itself is an economic attack in itself, because if you keep on engaging a country so long in a war where the economy is already running on loans and debts, then that country cannot sustain that war for too long.
Collapse from within.
That could collapse from within. So that is their intention, and that is happening. And this was exactly what was shown, that the enemy contaminates that food of Pakistan's army, which is actually this economy and the fuel and the dollars. And when they run out of that, or they have very little power to retaliate, tackle attack from the borders, then India attacks Pakistan and opens multiple fronts against Pakistan, and then those fronts are not limited to border attacks, but they also start internal attacks, like in the form of terrorist attacks or bomb blasts. And this was on 20th March 2017, and we are seeing these events happening exactly the same way. And the later parts of that dream are also important, that these attacks go on, and eventually it becomes so much so that Pakistan's army is left with very limited ammunition. It could be symbolic
resources,
very few resources. It could be symbolic that Pakistan's army is left with only 2 helicopters. One helicopter is with the army chief and another one. There could be more, but only 2 helicopters had the ammunition or the ability to fly around and defend Pakistan.
Yeah, that's symbolic.
That could be symbolic that it means that very little ammunition and ability to defend. And in the dream, it was seen that only these 2 helicopters are moving around and mobilized here and there to defend different parts of the border.
Yeah, actually, it is symbolic because it was explained in a dream on 13th of May 2018 that this dream of Qasim, it resembles with another dream about the 2 helicopters which are left with the army chief and another helicopter which is with the army. So yes, it is symbolic. Yeah, that's how. So that symbolizes the resources of Pakistan army, some of the resources. So moving on from there, if like we saw recently, like within last 3-4 days, we saw that the money changes in Pakistan, FIA and IB.
That's your like topic. Like it would be great if you put some light
so
on
basically they have been kind of arresting such people, or they have been conducting raids on their wherever hideouts and they took action against such people who were keeping the dollar reserves somewhere, and they were not floating it into the market. And this is why whenever the dollar price went up, then State Bank will have to buy those dollars on higher prices. So this is how the enemy has tried to contaminate the food of Pakistan army, because now Pakistan army is more worried about the economy rather than defending the borders. And you have seen that within last few days that how Asad Umar was asked to resign and how he was dismissed probably, or he resigned, Allah knows best. But this is what we saw. And army chief also met Imran Khan on an occasion, or they had a formal meeting actually, and they talked about the current scenario of Pakistan, and in particular the economic scenario of Pakistan and financial conditions of Pakistan. And army had reservations on the performance of the government. So when Imran Khan came to know about this, then he took immediate action and he dismissed his ministers, not only the finance minister Asad Umar, but another important player, Fawad Chaudhry, who's information minister, and Shahryar Afridi, who was interior minister, and he was
a couple
kind
of them
acting.
Are like people thought they were doing good.
Yeah, and the minister who was looking after the medicine side, or what do you call that? Health minister, yeah. So he was also dismissed, because if you see the prices of the medicines within the last few days or within last few weeks, they were doubled. So when anyone would go to buy the medicines, if it was for the tablet for 100 rupees, now it will be nearly 180 or 185 rupees. So this is what has happened to Pakistan. So army chief met Imran Khan and he kind of asked him in a way that, are you sleeping or what? Because this is what is happening in your cabinet, or this is what your ministers are doing. So then he was asked about their performance. He was briefed about their performance and how this all the financial inability is affecting the army as well. So this is how it affected army so much so that they, instead of focusing on the borders and the control line, they have to come back into Islamabad and brief Imran Khan on the financial situation of Pakistan and how it is impacting the army, and how it is how the chemical is being mixed in the food of Pakistan army. Because if there are no dollars and no fuel, Pakistan army will be paralyzed. That's what Qasim saw in his dreams. So exactly like that, this is what has happened within the past few days. So Imran Khan had to dismiss his ministers, but at the same time, he had to Imran Khan had to take quick actions against his ministers. But at the same time, we see that his another dream, which was on 27th of August, in which it was shown to him that it was shown to Muhammad Qasim that Imran Khan will fail and his failure is round the corner. And not only that, in a dream on the 25th of August 2018, I think, Muhammad Qasim was shown that he's in a big piece of land or big part of the land and where everyone is working, and suddenly everything is fine, and suddenly the land sinks. A part of the earth sinks in deep down, and then everyone gets surprised and shocked that what has happened, and lots of people get harmed, or there's a lot of damage by that event as well. So it kind of looks that when he dismissed his ministers, everyone before that, like PTI supporters and PTI's government, was claiming that everything is going fantastically fine and everything is being done in an efficient manner. But the performance of the ruling party has been exposed with that event. Now, why are we discussing this internal politics when we started the topic with the title that Modi is threatening Pakistan? Because all these events are interlinked of damage to Pakistan's economy. So nearly the debt went to, I think, 30,000 billion or 30 something like that. 30 billion or 30,000 they call it in Pakistani currency. So it doubled than what it was in 2008 when the previous government left their offices. So this is what has been done over the years to Pakistan's economy, and this is why Qasim was shown that a chemical is being mixed in Pakistan Army's food. So that chemical is corruption. That chemical is corruption and the corrupt people, and that food. In another dream on 26th of May 2018, it has been told that that food is fuel and dollars. That's what Pakistan is lacking at the moment. And this is why they are on the brink of being declared as a failed state by the enemies, obviously. They want to make an excuse to declare Pakistan as a failed state or a financially which is a disaster, financial disaster basically. So that's why they want to impose a restriction as well. And the next move they can make is that they can ask Pakistan to hand back their nuclear weapons as well, because when Pakistan is not doesn't have sufficient funds to run the country, then they can question that how would you manage to protect your nuclear weapons. So this is what we have to take care of. So this is what these, obviously this is something which is in the knowledge of ISI and Pakistan Army as well, and the government as well. But this is something which has been told in these dreams as well, that unless and until we make a strategy now, then we won't be able to defend ourselves when enemy tries to make Pakistan into Tora Bora, according to the dream on 6th of June 2017. So this is what we are preparing our people for, and this is what we are preparing our army and the intelligence agencies as well. So that's the purpose of these live sessions, and that's the purpose of these dreams as well. And not just that, this is just the initial objectives. The final objective is to make Pakistan into a state which is a welfare state, and it has a system which is acceptable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his last and final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's what it is heading towards. So Brother Awais, what do you say about the Islamic presidential system, which is being discussed a lot these days, and everyone is talking about it? Why are they talking about it when everyone said that Imran Khan will be sufficient to bring the change? So what happened? What went wrong?
Yeah, this is a wonderful phenomena. Back then, after Imran Khan was elected, we shared the dream in which it was shown that Imran Khan is not succeeding. But that dream, Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim saw on the election day, when even Imran Khan wasn't even announced that he has won the elections. It was shown then. Initially, people were like very reluctant, and right after, how would you say that when even somebody is not in the office yet, or he has been in office for a day or two, and the whole 220 million people are expecting a lot of stuff from him, and you would come forward and say that he's going to fail, and they would say, oh, crazy, yeah, like they would say, they would give him some time or something like that, and people would call you crazy, and people would think in their minds or say that you must have your affiliations with the opposition parties. That's why you are saying that. We saw and faced all kinds of those things, but we keep on insisting that, especially with some of our credibility as well, that we haven't lied before to our clients and people and professionals, alhamdulillah, with Allah's grace, that some established professional is saying that, and no idiot is like making such crazy claims, alhamdulillah. Like people were not believing, but as soon as things started moving forward, it became more and more clear that Imran Khan is not achieving the things he was claiming, and in some cases, and actually in the most of the cases, he is doing even worse than the other governments. And it was shown to Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim. One of the main reasons is that he prostrated to the grave. Anyways, the reasons put aside, coming to your question, that people were not believing, but they are now, and things are going exactly in that direction, which was shown to Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim. And now, another thing that people were not believing when we shared the dream of 23rd December 2018, way before Imran Khan had failed. Now I would say that he has. It looked like another crazy thing, that how would immediately Pakistan get a Islamic system, a presidential system? It again looked like a very crazy thing.
Yeah, and it was, we were the first ones to
obviously back in that's what I'm saying. Back in the December, nobody saw or thought or said that there would be a presidential system. This was nowhere seen. This was nowhere being discussed. And when we said that, it looked like a crazy thing. And for last couple of weeks, you see many people have come forward to say that Pakistan is going to have Islamic presidential system, and everybody is claiming that they said it first. So we are actually not in the race who is saying first or who said that. Even if people are saying this and claiming that they said first, it's okay, because the actual point is that we are going to have an Islamic presidential system, and this is contributing to raising a voice and starting a conversation on social media. Even if people are claiming they did first, okay, fine, we are not arguing with you, whoever said it, but the dates are there, and the videos were uploaded in the back dates, and you can see that. But the point is that we are now heading towards what we said back in December. We did not say, we delivered the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim saw through his dreams. So the point is, now it is a word on street and acceptable thing that Pakistan is going to have an Islamic presidential system, but it is still not certain. People are saying, people are wishing, and people are arguing, and most of the people think that it's an analysis, or it could be like a wish of establishment. People say that. But the interesting thing is that just like other parts and other dreams of Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim, this is very certain. What we are telling you is no analysis. It's a fact. It's an information. It's an intelligence that is coming forth way before the events are happening or would happen. So
through the dreams.
Through the dreams, obviously.
Which are 46th part of Nubuwa, according to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam
told us in multiple ahadith and in muttafiqun alayh ahadith that these dreams are from Allah. True dreams are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are sort of 46th. Not sort of, they are actually 46th part of Nubuwa. So
yet they are not wahi or revelation.
So any Muslim's dreams, any Muslim's dream, not just Muhammad Qasim. Even if you see some dream and that comes true later, and you realize that it was a true dream, then this is from Allah. And you see good things, glad tidings, and not negative things most of the times. So then this is a true dream and good dream and from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is also a 46th part of Nubuwa, but this is no way Nubuwa. Coming to presidential system, so Pakistan is going to have a presidential system right after Imran Khan. We would see a small transition period where army would take the transition, where Imran Khan would leave a disastrous situation, a country in a lot of problems. Then, just like in the words of General Hamid Gul, when you see the sentiment of the people when they are like very frustrated, then you have to act. You cannot be neutral. You cannot let the country sink. So that's when army acts, even even when they don't want to. So they would have to act to control the situation, to control the disaster that Imran Khan would leave behind. And this is again no analysis, this is information. So then they would come for a transitional period and help establish that the details of the presidential system. And why would they do that, a presidential system? Because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would witness to Chief of the Army Staff that Muhammad Qasim is not lying about his dreams, and then Army Chief would pay attention and would believe on those dreams and strategize according to his dream, Army Chief's dream that he would see. And this was also shown to Muhammad Qasim in his dreams, that Army Chief would see a dream of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that's why he would strategize exactly according to his dream and according to the dreams of Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim. And right after that, they would hand over the government and all of the whole business of the government to the president,
or the people who are most sincere to Pakistan.
To the people who are more sincere, and obviously one person would be the president. We don't know. Wallahu alam, later on it could come forward, maybe somebody would be an agreed upon person might be picked for that purpose, and then Pakistan would have an Islamic system. So after all these disasters, after all these conditions that we are going through, there is a huge opportunity. There are huge glad tidings, and those are that Pakistan would start progressing and Pakistan would become a superpower. Pakistan's loan would be paid back. And that would be right after Pakistan becomes Pakistan gets an Islamic presidential system. Kashmir would be free. Pakistan would be Ghazwa Hind. A lot of details that you can find on this exact channel.
So what is the key to this success?
That is the point that I mentioned a bit earlier, maybe as well, that would all happen only when we refrain from all forms of shirk. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could forgive everything, but He subhanahu wa ta'ala has already mentioned in the Quran that Inna Allah la yaghfiru an yushraka bihi wa yaghfiru ma duna dhalika liman yasha, that He could forgive everything if He wills. He could forgive even major sins if He wills. If He wills, I would emphasize, if He wills. This doesn't mean I would go ahead and start doing major sins. That would even become this is not. Anyways, if He wills, He could, but He would never forgive any form of shirk, either minor or major, according to this verse of Holy Quran. So Pakistan would be cleaned from all forms of shirk, and when we do that, Pakistan would get an Islamic presidential system, and Pakistan would start progressing. And shirk is not only limited to prostrating to graves or prostrating to idols, or it could be elevating anybody to a place where he is not meant to, which he does not deserve in terms of authority, in terms of ability, in terms of asking help or prayers from. All these things are meant for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only. And even if you start associating features and characteristics to even Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which are meant for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only, even then it is a shirk actually. For example, people would say, I was surprised when I encountered somebody who was very religious, and I thought he was very, very, very monotheist, and obviously he thinks as well he is. And it's not ghiba because I'm not mentioning who he is. Somebody was. And I was shocked actually. And I've seen him sitting inside the mosque all of the times praying, and I overheard him saying a prayer and asking things from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nauzubillah. Like, you are making prayer that, like, I cannot even repeat what he was like. He was making prayer from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam instead of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is shirk. This could be shirk akbar as well, I think.
Yes, we should only ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
You can ask for help, for example, lend me this pen, or hand over this tablet to me. This is fine. This is cooperation, you can say. But some sort of help that you cannot ask for a child from somebody else that give me let my wife give birth to a child. You cannot ask for this is something meant for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only. You cannot say somebody to relieve your pains who's not around.
Or even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never said that after I pass away, so then you should pray to me. When he left, it was as it is in the Quran as well. Al yawma akmaltu lakum dinukum. So religion or the deen was completed when he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was alive. So whatever these such kind of things which are bid'ahs people are doing, they are not from the sunnah. So yes, actually this is not correct to ask from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because if this was something to do, he would have told us clearly that you should ask or seek help from me after I pass away. Whereas this is a kind of shirk as well, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says only seek help and guidance from him.
From him.
Yeah.
So wonderful.
Have you got any questions in this regard?
Yeah. Like a couple of people are sending us questions, and let's get to them. Some I would answer, and some things that Brother Imran has more grip on. For example, are Gog and Magog gorillas or humans? Khan is asking.
Okay, interesting.
This is and it's a common question as well. We get to be asked this question a lot of times.
Yeah, exactly. As it has been shown to Muhammad Qasim in his dreams, he has seen them as like kind of gorillas who are in black and white color. So there are white Gog and Magog and there are black Gog and Magog. That's how he has seen them in his dreams. And they are very destructive and they are very powerful. So this is how he has seen in his dreams. So we are just explaining, or we can only say what he saw. So in the light of dreams, yes, this is how he saw them.
Yeah, when you see the dreams, you do not know if they are symbolic or literal.
Yes, that's another thing as well. Yeah.
So, wallahu alam, we do not know a lot of things. Some of things are not clear. So he has seen them in the form of gorillas.
Yeah.
But when time comes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows it could be symbolic or it was literal. We would only know when the time comes.
Yes, but they're very powerful, that's for sure, yeah.
That's for sure, and they're very destructive.
Destructive, yeah.
And they're exactly just like the ahadith.
Yeah, exactly.
So Khan, I think I saw a video of Muhammad Qasim where he shares a dream in which he was doing some business in a building with his family and the building collapses. Is it related to current situation?
Yes, it is very much related to the current situation. That
again, we did not know back then what it could translate to, and it was symbolic. And now, when the things are happening, it looks like it was about this situation.
Yes, actually, as far as I'm concerned, I was saying this in my live sessions last year as well, that it is the financial earthquake. I think he's talking about the dream on 9th of October 2017, where Qasim saw an earthquake and then he's doing some business or working in a building along with his family. And when the earthquake comes, then it destroys the buildings and a lot of damage is done. So yeah, that is the financial earthquake, because those buildings are financial buildings. And this is what is happening now. So that's what is going on these days. And that's why, as we have told in the course of our talk as well, that Army Chief met Imran Khan, then FIA and IB and all these agencies are conducting raids on the money changers who are storing the dollar reserves somewhere hidden in their hideout. So they're doing something to the economy on the orders of their masters, whoever they are, and their masters are obeying the orders of their masters. So there's a chain of you can say hierarchy of evil forces who is doing all this. So yes, it is very much related to this situation.
So Aksa is asking, will 80 crore people die in Ghazwa Hind, or they would in Third World War?
80 crore people will die in the Third World War collectively, like in Middle East, during Ghazwa Hind, all the small and big battles and wars which will be fought as a result of those war in World War III, or those battles. 80 crore people will die, not just Ghazwa Hind, it'll be the whole of the World War III.
But Ghazwa Hind is just a part of it, so
yes.
It would be like, can you actually separate Ghazwa Hind from World War III, or is it just a like it's a similar event just happening over there and then here and like?
It is part of World War III actually. World War III will start in the Middle East, and once the destruction is done in the Middle East, then Pakistan will be progressing meanwhile. And then all the enemies of Pakistan, USA, India, and their allies, they will attack Pakistan. And as a result of that, defense which Pakistan will do, or the way Pakistan will defend itself and retaliate to that attack, will be the Ghazwa Hind. And Ghazwa Hind will be the very first victory for the Muslims in the World War III. So yes, Ghazwa Hind is a very important part of World War III. And then we will jump into the Middle East and other parts of the world to conquer the lands and liberate them from the oppression.
So Shujatullah is asking, is Third World War a punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the West?
Third World War is a punishment. You can say, well, Allah has put us in this earth and this life is a test for us. He has enabled us to make such things which are very beneficial, and at the same time they are very harmful for us as well. So at the same time He also put the shaitan or Iblis on this earth as well, and He said that I will mislead and misguide the people. So those people who will listen to shaitan, they will cause destruction among the human beings. They will cause mischief among the human beings, like it has been told about Ya'juj and Ma'juj, or Gog and Magog in Quran as well, that they were very mischievous and they used to kill people, and they used to rob them, and they used to do massacre. So same thing is happening, will happen in the World War III, when the evil forces, they will join together, they will listen to the shaitan instead of listening to the book or the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they will do such evil acts that would cause a lot of destruction. And they will do this
just like Ghazwatul Badr,
Yeah.
the Mushrikeen started it,
Yes.
but since they started, they could not be forgiven.
Yeah.
They got the reward, and they were defeated, and they were killed, and they were dumped.
Yes, so that's how Allah deals with them as well, because this life is just a test, and He has given us a you can say like a book with guidance in it. So He asks us, or He has been asking all the nation to follow that path of the prophets and do not cause mischief and corruption in the land. So when we go against it, then Allah has also told us that He will punish those who cause that destruction, and He will reward those who will end the oppression and destruction. So
Yeah. So yeah, you can say actually when the Mushrikeen attacked the true Muslims of that time, they were actually punished for that. So you can actually say that since they would start and they would attack the true believers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they would get what they deserve for this action.
yes.
So Wahyu Ajiz Mustafa is a brother from maybe Indonesia or Malaysia. He's asking, when would the Muslims go to Pakistan? Before, like in some of the dreams it is said that Muslims from all over the world come to Pakistan and start living over here and stuff like that.
Yes.
When would it happen? Is it before Ghazwa Hind or after?
It will be in stages actually. When Pakistan starts progressing, at the same time, the World War III may start in the Middle East, and there will be destruction in the Middle East. And if you remember the red car dream, when that destruction happens in the Middle East, then in that dream Qasim sees himself leading the people towards a narrow passage or path or a river, which the people have to cross to get into another land, or to get to another house, which symbolizes Pakistan. So they will leave their countries and start migrating to Pakistan. And then you see that in other dreams, you see that when people see the black fighter jets, which has been told in the dreams that they will be the black flags of Khorasan, then also people will, when the people see those black fighter jets, then Muslims from all over the world will migrate towards Pakistan, and they will join Pakistani people and Pakistani army to against the enemies and their oppression in Ghazwa Hind. And then Ghazwa Hind will take place, and we will defeat our enemies. Not just that, the Pakistan will also defeat Russia and USA in the Middle East, and then we will spread the true Islam of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam all over the world.
So Khan is asking, when will Gog Magog get out, before the descent of Hazrat Isa alayhi salam or after?
Ya'juj and Ma'juj will come out after the descent of Isa alayhi salam, as we know from Hadith as well, that when Isa alayhi salam kills the Dajjal, then after that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell him that there's there are some slaves or servants or people which is coming out and no one can Jabal Tur, I think it is. So there's a mountain in there in Egypt or somewhere. So they will Allah will ask them to climb that mountain and hide there, because those people or that nation who will attack the human beings will be Gog and Magog and Yajuj and Majuj. So yes, Isa alayhi salam will come first, and then Yajuj and Majuj, they will cause the destruction, they will kill the people, and then Isa alayhi salam, his companions will be on, they will kill all the people on the earth or whatever number of people. Then now we are going to kill the one who is in the heavens. So then, Nauzubillah, so then they will shoot arrows towards the sky, and those arrows will come down with blood on them, and they will think that they have killed the one in the sky as well. And then it is said in the hadith that Allah will send some kind of worm which will bite their necks or in their necks, and that will destroy them. So they will die because of that worm, and then the whole earth will be filled with their bodies, the dead bodies. So then
even a bird would fly and
yes.
And is it in the same?
I think that's in another context, that when the Malhama takes place.
All right.
Yeah, that's in so yeah.
So two questions. Who will win Indian election? That is out of context, but based on our analysis, maybe we can put some light.
I don't think we can throw some light on who will win the political
like,
elections, but we can just make guesses like we do. This is nothing to do with dreams, but
nothing to do with dreams, right? But I've said in a previous live session, and similar question was asked, and I said that it has become a very ideal nexus between Modi, Trump, and Netanyahu.
Yeah, that makes sense.
These maniacs are in these important positions, and in light of the events that have been shown to Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim, massacre of Muslims, a campaign against a killing spree and destruction all over the world, seems like only these three maniacs can make such a thing happen. So that's why I was thinking and said that as well, that Netanyahu must win. It's not shown in the dreams, but based on what is coming forth, I could expect only personally, based on my own personal analysis.
And what has been told in that dream where Netanyahu, Modi and Trump come together?
But were they these three persons, or it was just shown as the Prime Minister of India or the Prime Minister of just personality, symbolic personalities? I believe they were just the positions, like Prime Minister of Israel, Prime Minister of India, and President of United States. This is how it was instead of persons.
I think that's how it was.
So that's how it was. But I believe, and I could, based on my own personal analysis or opinion, that these three people, these three maniacs, I would say, could be the people only that can make the whole world go down to that destruction drain. And it seems like it's best, ideal combination. So that's why I thought Netanyahu would win in the recent elections in Israel, and he did. And that's why I think that's my personal analysis. That's why I think Trump is not going anywhere anytime soon. And similarly, that's my personal opinion, not based on the dreams. The events based on the dreams, but person. So I think Modi would win as well, because he's the maniac that is needed for such kind of destruction.
Yeah, he's the fanatic who can be useful for them.
Yeah, so that's why it seems like he would win. So another question, will India attack during Imran Khan's leadership or during the presidential system?
We can't give the exact time, but it can happen during or just when he's about to end. So it
Yeah,
can
because
be,
because during the presidential system, even if they do, it wasn't shown they would right after presidential system. But even if they do, it has been shown that during the presidential system there would be blessings and less destruction.
Was the question about the presidential system?
The question is that will India attack Pakistan during Imran Khan's leadership or after the presidential system has been established?
Yeah, after presidential system, no. I think such a system of governance will be established in Pakistan that Pakistan will be progressing a lot and no one would dare to attack them, basically. So it could be before that.
Okay.
But Allah knows best,
Shujatullah is asking, can we wish and guide the Jews to join the army of truth against the against the absolute mushriks and Hindus? It's like he's. Okay, I believe he must be saying that. So since they are Ahl Kitab.
Yes, but at the same time, you can see. I know. He might be thinking because they are Ahl Kitab, and same thing happened in Surah Rum as well, which is mentioned against the Persians when Romans fought the Persians, and Prophet ﷺ made a dua for them. But in this case, in Quran, it is clearly said that they are not your friends, Jews and Christians, not on the individual level. We are not talking about here the individuals, but those the states, on the state level, they are not your friends. Friends mean
especially the ones who are fighting and doing oppressions against Muslims right now.
And it goes against the dreams as well. It goes against Quran and Hadith first of all, and then because we are talking in the light of dreams, then we have seen already that Prime Minister of India, Israel and America, they joined their hands together and they vow to eliminate Muslims from Palestine and Kashmir. So you can't expect them to join hands with you and fight with you against Indians, because it has been shown already that they will join hands with Modi.
Yeah, just like in the case of Madinatul Munawwara, these were those Jews who welcomed them. People ask, this is a common question, that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was facing a lot of difficulties and hardships in Makkah, but when he went to Medina, he was welcomed with people were in the streets and girls were over there, little girls were to welcome him. How could that be? Why would they believe? So they were actually the Jews who were waiting for the rise of the last prophet, and that's why they have migrated all the way from Palestine and Egypt and that land to Medina, because they knew he would appear in the land of dates, palms, and that's why they were there. But there were also Jews who developed
animosity
or envy or that because they thought that the tribes who would migrate to the land of the palms would be the ones in which the last prophet would born, and they thought they would be from among their Jews, from among their tribes. But Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was from Banu Ismail instead of Banu Israel. So they developed the envy, and they wanted the jealousy or stuff like that. So they knew he was the last prophet, but they didn't believe. So there were three kinds of Jews. One who openly fought against the Muslims, and they helped mushriks against Prophet ﷺ. Then there was Abdullah bin Ubay, who chose the path of pretending to be a Muslim, but he wasn't a Muslim in itself, he was a munafiq. And then there were Jews who welcomed Prophet ﷺ and converted to Islam when Prophet ﷺ moved to Madinatul Munawwara. So right now this is different, because these three options were available when the last prophet had just arrived. You could either accept it, you could either reject and be a kafir, or you could choose the path of being a munafiq. But now Islam has been around for 1400 years, and all of the Jews, a Jew who is born, he knows that Islam is there, this is a truth, and you are not preaching to them right now. They know, and everything has been delivered. So there is hardly any option. There could be a very few, but there is hardly any such thing as the Jews who did not know about Islam and you would invite them. Jews are like, they are genetically, ancestrally, this is in their genes, they are very well known about their ancestry and their elders, and they're not like a lame kind of people. Most of them, they know who they are, what are their ancestry, who they belong to, what is their purpose, and how they have to rule the world and stuff like that. So this is getting long, but the point is, there is hardly anything. Once the Jews have opened an open war against Muslims, they are doing oppression against Muslims. They are killing the Muslims every day, innocent Muslims. They are taking over their lands.
They are killing some of the Jews or some of the Christians in
the
Arab lands as well.
Yeah, so there is no point in preaching them. You could, but now is the time when they would be fought against instead of like...
They already knew Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a prophet, and when he arrived in Medina, but they didn't accept him.
Yeah, that's what I told. There were three type of people.
So
one they did, one they rejected, and one they...
So now it's
forward for them now. Khan is asking that's the last question, then we would end inshallah. That is there any reference of Dabatul Arz in Muhammad Qasim's dreams?
Not in the dreams which we have shared so far, so there's no mention of that, but it is mentioned in Quran, so there's no...
it's in Quran,
it is
in
in
Hadith
Quran,
as well. So about his dreams,
there's no doubt that he will come.
We cannot say for sure for now.
Yes, but there will be. Maybe in future we may
get to know from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if there is any reference of Dabatul Arz. Jazakumullahu khair, brother Imran, for
thank you very much for your nice comments.
Jazakallah all for joining as well. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments, and these are important messages, and if you share them you get inshallah reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ajr. And inshallah, just like in one of the dreams of Muhammad Qasim, it was said that the people who are helping Muhammad Qasim, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself is writing their names on golden paper. So if you share, you could be inshallah among them, and that's what motivates us as well.
Exactly. And not only that, by sharing these dreams you can also save human lives, because there are many people in the Middle East who do not know about these dreams, and if they come to know about these dreams, they may strategize according to these dreams. So that's why they are important. So thank you very much, and jazakallah khair.